Mark was sitting in his room reading an old book when he heard a knock on the door. It was late in the evening, and he was not expecting anyone. He stood up slowly, wondering who it could be. When he opened the door, he found a small envelope on the floor. There was no name on it, just his address written in elegant handwriting. He picked up the letter and looked around, but the hallway was empty. Feeling curious, he carefully opened the envelope and pulled out a folded piece of paper. The message inside was short but mysterious. "Meet me at the old library at midnight. Come alone." Mark's heart started beating faster. Who could have sent this? He sat on his bed, thinking about what to do. Outside, the wind was blowing, making the windows shake. The letter had no signature, and the handwriting seemed unfamiliar. He thought about ignoring it, but something inside him told him he needed to go. At 11:30 p.m., Mark put on his jacket and quietly left his house. The streets were empty, and the sound of his footsteps echoed in the night. He walked quickly, his mind racing with questions. Who was waiting for him? Was this a trap or an adventure? When he reached the library, he saw that the lights inside were still on, even though it was supposed to be closed. He hesitated for a moment before pushing the door open. The air inside smelled of old books and dust. Shadows danced on the walls as the light flickered. He stepped inside cautiously. "Hello?" he called out, but there was no answer. He walked between the tall bookshelves, looking for any serious person. Then, suddenly, he heard a noise behind him. He turned around quickly, his heart pounding. A girl about his age stepped out from behind a shelf. She had dark hair and wore glasses. She looked nervous but determined. "You came," she said softly. "I wasn't sure if you would." Mark was even more confused now. "Who are you?" he asked. She handed him another letter. "Read this," she said. Mark unfolded the paper and began reading. The letter explained that someone had been watching him for weeks. They needed his help to solve a mystery involving a hidden book, a secret message, and a lost key. Mark felt a mix of excitement and fear. He had always dreamed of being part of an adventure like this, but now that it was happening, he wasn't sure what to think. "Why me?" he asked. The girl hesitated. "Because you're the only one who can find the key," she said. The library felt colder as they spoke. Mark looked around, realizing that something bigger was happening. He had a choice to make leave now and forget about this, or stay and uncover the truth. He took a deep breath and looked at the girl. "Tell me everything," he said. Over the next hour, the girl, whose name was Emily, explained everything. The book they were searching for had been lost for over 100 years, and it contained secrets about the town's past. Many had tried to find it before, but no one succeeded. Mark listened carefully. He realized that his love for books and mysteries had brought him to this moment. If he helped, he might uncover something incredible. "All right," he said. "Let's find that book." Emily smiled, and together they started their search. As they moved through the library, Mark noticed strange symbols on some of the shelves. Emily pointed to an old map she had found. "I think this is a clue," she whispered. They followed the markings, their excitement growing. The night was just beginning, and Mark knew that his life would never be the same after this. He was no longer just a boy who loved books. He was part of a real adventure now, and there was no turning back.